Once upon a time, two boys grew up playing hockey in the village of Terrace, British Columbia. One of them went on to play in the National Hockey League. The other became a comedian. Now, one flies planes and coaches youth hockey. The other is still a comedian and owns news skates. This is their podcast, Enjoying Orange Slices with Jeff and Ian.
Well, before we continue macking each other around with words, we'll continue this podcast. Hello, Jeffrey.
Hello. We were in the middle of some word salad there. We were using some language that is probably not appropriate at each other for the holidays. So we're gonna
carving
button
the
that up.
turkey is what we were doing.
Yeah, you turkey, you. Oh, wow.
I'm in the garage, so if I start to sweat, just let me know.
I like how since you've moved, I got to turn this up a bit. Don't have my Whisper 2000s in today, but I like how since you've moved that you're on location. You constantly move around the house. You just, what is it? Bruce Dickinson said it best, explore the space.
That's funny. Explore the space.
Explore the space.
I'm about to explore the space and open up the door. Hold on 1 second. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Hear that, people? That is called a garage door.
That is called Ian's neighbor coming over to tell him where to plant all their trees and flowers.
It's him the other day. I said, we might not actually plant anything because I'm enjoying the sun.
I can't believe he probably hasn't slept since you guys had to clear out some of those trees that were causing some problems in the neighborhood.
Causing some ups and downs but Constable Cab got out there and took care of things.
That's right. We're getting her sheriff's badge for Christmas so she can keep a lid on all that nonsense.
Maybe her sheriff's badge can be as big as your VGK Golden Knights badge.
You know what? We're gonna have to copyright that. I'm gonna have to keep that all to myself. We'll put a picture up of my badge from the other night, my pin. That was pretty fun.
Don't get it caught in your badge.
It's funny. So I did the game the other night with Marty. He's got the great Alec Martinez, and Mallard, who Marty's just retired, so he's given TV a go. I'm not even sure what you'd say I'm doing with TV, but Marty is
giving it a go. You're giving it a go.
I'm giving her a go too. But I will give this. Marty is like the prom king. He's come out and everybody's like, "Ooh, who's that?"
Ooh, Marty. It's great. What's great about him? I didn't think anybody could look more annoyed, have a more annoyed and disgusted look at Millard after he said something.
Yeah.
And then he comes on and he just outdoes you like you wouldn't believe. It's look on his face. Really? How much longer are we here? This game almost over? I want to go home.
Exactly. So Marty's he just finished playing, and that's my guard dog, if you can hear in the back there, keeping an eye on things. But he's come out, he's got the resume that you would just dream of from a hockey perspective. And we were giving him a hard time the other day. He was going back and forth so much between LA and Vegas that we were calling him. He says, "I think I might be like Eric Estrada. I'm on the freeway so much." So we nicknamed him Paunch.
So funny.
And I said, "You'd be careful. There'll be a radar gun under your." Oh, we're in the middle of a story, but we're getting interrupted. We need treats. Hang on. Okay. Anyways, we said if you're not careful, you're going back and forth so much on I-15, you'll have a radar gun under the tree and an honorary CHIPS membership, California Highway Patrol in your stocking.
That's funny. That's funny.
Anyways, I thought it was going to be a really good story, but the dog's like, I don't like it.
The dog's interrupted. The dogs are like, we think we'll do better than that. I got a question. And we're talking about Alex Martinez, who just retired from the Golden Knights this year. I mean, retired because of injury, right?
So Marty took a skate. Well, the dog, she doesn't want to hear me tell this story either. The dog, he took a skate a couple years ago. He came back and played, and then Chicago brought him in last year. And he played one more year. And I just think, after playing all those years, and maybe one day, just maybe, if he's not too busy.
I forgot he went to Chicago.
driving back and forth to California. Maybe we can get Marty on and he can tell us for himself. But Chicago was good. He really enjoyed it there, from what he told me. But he led the league or was up near the top in shot blocks every year. And I just think he's happy to be able to get out of bed and not be sore every morning from,
Yeah.
stopping or getting in front of 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 shots the night before.
Or having dreams of Brent Burns or winding up on you with that 8-foot stick.
Well, we were talking about it the other night. I think it's really interesting. Like the one thing Marty brings, obviously, that he's very articulate, and he's smart. He knows the game. Obviously, he's been around a long time. Every place he's gone, they love him. But one of the things we were talking about the other night, and he's so recent, right? But were you talking about fronting, like he's defenseman, right? So do you get in front of a guy or do you get in behind a guy and try and push him out of the way as a shot comes? And so I asked him about hurdle. I said, "Oh, what do you do with hurdle?" And he goes,
Right.
"You don't do anything with them because," he goes, "he's impossible to move. So all you try and do is like to get behind him and try and start to actually move him one way as the shot's coming so the goalie can see what's going on." But, so that would be, playing behind a guy and then trying to move him out as the shot's coming. But a lot of times what you'll see, and one of the things Marty did really well in his career, and the other guys that can block shots, Braden McNabb does it really well for the Knights as well, is they front guys, because if you have that shot coming off the wing on the one-timer, you can't be stuck behind the guy in front of the net. You got to get out there and get in the lane so you can disrupt the shot, block the shot, or give the goalie take away half the net, basically, is what they talk about. So we had some great conversation about that, because I was always, back in the day, it was like, you got to get behind that, blast them out of there, cross check them. And but there is times when you have to front people. The problem is you get in front of a guy, and we'll just use hurdle because we're talking about him. I don't know, Ovi's on the wing a lot, but a Tom Wilson kind of guy. If those guys, if you front them and the puck gets through, then you're done, right? Because
It's over.
it's over, because you're not,
Yeah.
you can't move them the other way, and
Yeah, yeah.
now you're on the back side of them with the puck, and them in front of your goalie with a rebound.
So it's got to be so few times that you get in front that you want to get in front, because I don't know. I think if I got in front, I'd turn around and nobody be there.
Well, they were talking about the other night on the air. It was pretty funny because John Stevens, who was with the Kings.
Nice guy.
John won 2 Stanley Cups there with them. Was a head coach in the league, played for a long time, and he's been here. And he says to them, Zach Whitecloud and Marty were on. They were doing an interview after the game, and John's line is, "The puck that hits you doesn't hurt near as much as the puck that goes by you."
It's true.
It is
Oh my
so
God,
true.
that's really funny.
It is. It's such a
Yeah.
great line. And
Your body
yeah.
can recover. Your brain can't.
Well, yeah, you know what?
From an emotional that letdown like that.
Yeah, and from you being able to warm up the bench as you sit there for the rest of the period, or probably the rest of the game.
That's funny.
So
you have plenty of time to heal while you watch everybody else play.
yeah, you know what? Healing a bruise on your legs doesn't take near as long to heal the bruise in your mind.
Yeah, that's right. Your emotional bruise.
Yeah, exactly. You're right from there to therapy after the game to the American League. That's the way it used to work. They were like,
God.
we don't even bother with therapy. We're just sending you down. Like
American League therapy.
Oh my God, there was times back in the day. I mean, talk about recency that Marty has. Well, I have lack of recency of playing, but I remember you'd make some plays, you're like, oh my God, I think I'm Adirondack, here I come. Like there's guys that still don't get that. They're worried about every mistake because there's so much money on the line. There's so, and this year it's so tight, but I think it's kind of cool. So when you watch your next game, you see different ways. Like you'll see a lot on penalty kill where you could have someone off and playing in front of a guy a little bit because they're worried about the one-timer. Like who wants to get in front of Ovi's shot, right?
Nobody.
So, you're kind of like, oh, I couldn't get off.
It's usually rising like that too, right? It's probably like on that level. Yeah. It's never like this. It's always just kind of rising like that.
It defying gravity, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So it's kind of interesting to talk to him, and I got to give him credit. We try and get him on, but I got to give him credit because his chirps are mid-season form. His chirps are so good. I'm like, man, I mean, I try and stay active with the chirps between you and me and being around the kids at the rink and but he's next level chirps. It's really fun. He's got
That's
some
funny.
great lines. Yeah. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
What happened? Let's go back to your badge. What happened with your badge?
Okay, yeah. So the badge the other night, we'll try and get two pictures. So the first night we came on with Martinez, myself, and Mallard. So Marty, Mallard, myself. I have,
No show Mallard.
yeah. Did you send him a text? Didn't show up again
Oh,
today.
every time that shows up.
Shocker, shocker. He doesn't care.
Just
He's too
so
busy being
lame
100%
duck.
hockey.
Too busy being a lame duck.
So we have pens, and so I have HSK pen when I work with them, and then I have like three Golden Knight pens, but one of them's bigger than the other ones.
Hmm.
So that's the one. I couldn't find my other two pens, shocker. And so I put the bigger pin on. And so we're doing the show, the pregame, and all of a sudden Mallard looks over and he goes, "Oh, you're trying to one up us? Look, it shows up with a bigger pin." And Marty's like, "I'm just happy I found my pin," which is the same thing I was.
That's
And
funny.
so he starts chirping me all night. And even Marty chirps me about my pen, this old big pen over there, right? So I'm like, okay, fair enough.
Old Big Pin. That's your new
Big
nickname.
pen.
Old Big Pin.
You got to be careful, right? Because
Old Big Pin.
you don't usually get to keep the nicknames you want in hockey. You always get the ones that
No.
they test you, right? You got to be careful.
Hmm.
They test you for your nickname. So Big Pen. So they're
I
like, "Hey,
remember my
Big
nickname.
Pen."
I remember my nickname was Cut.
Big Cut.
Big Cut.
Hey, I like Cut better than Big Cut or or
Actually,
always
first cut.
first cut, always cut.
Always cut.
So
Yeah.
cut was better. Yeah.
Why show up?
It was right around this time of year actually that remember that one year um and, and you just went and cleaned out the whole Prince Rupert team and thanks I was on the bench and thanks to me probably got about a 10-game suspension. You remember?
Probably got a couple games off after that, and Jeff came up. Good work. This
I'm
big thing
like,
on his arm.
that's right. You thought that pin was something. You should have seen that
Oh my
cast.
God!
So
Should have seen the cast. Everybody's like, oh, they spent a lot of money in the NHL.
yeah, well, and you know what? Before I got diagnosed with the wrist injury I actually had with the Portland Winterhawks, I had my trainer up in training camp telling me I had carpal tunnel. I said, "Well, I think yeah, I might have carpal tunnel, but I might have something a little bit more than that too."
No, it's a
So,
little bit more.
anyways,
I'm
had the
not saying
big
my mom's a
pen.
nurse, but I don't know a little more. So you got the big pin out there. Now they're all over you. So you decided to up your pin game and take it up to another
Yeah, I
level.
said, so I came home. I said to Michelle, I "Go, hey, listen, um, these guys are chirping me about my pen. And she's really good at arts and crafts, which I'm not." She's got the skill. I'm terrible.
Oh
Was
my
never
God!
good, right? In home
Everybody's
economics.
good. She's really good at arts and crafts. Oh my God! Could you make her sound more special needs?
Yeah, I just, well, I said some things the other night and I could feel them coming out of my mouth as I said them. I'm like, you know what? You're the biggest idiot in the world so I got to take that one
Oh,
back. That was a compliment. It's amazing, right? What a compliment. What a guy. Way to
it's you
compliment your
try for a
wife.
compliment. Yeah, it tries for a compliment, ends up in the dog.
Yeah, I said some things the other night and I was like, they were coming out of my mouth and I could see Mallard just staring at me. Like, I'm like, I can't pull them back now. I'm trying to get to the off ramp, but I couldn't do it, right?
I couldn't get the car off the street
I
fast
could
enough.
not get off. I tried, and then I went right off the off ramp into the rhubarb. I just kept
That's
going. I'm
awesome.
like in some guy's field. I'm like, sorry, Mallard. But yeah, so we're chirping me about the pin. So I said to Michelle, I said, can you put together like can we get a bigger VGK pin? She goes, yep.
That's
So she
funny.
puts this satellite dish on my lapel,
It was
and I
massive.
walk in to Studio 31 in Vegas for the Saturday night game, and Marty and Mallard are both there, and there's always some banter going on, right? Mallard, he likes to stir it, right? Like so, he's stirring it, and we're having some fun. Taylor, our producer, awesome guy, he's there. Everyone's having a good laugh, and so I'm just in my shirt and tie, and I hadn't put my jacket on yet. And it was about 5 minutes before we go on air. I turn around, I put my jacket on with the pin, and they both lose it. Marty goes, That's really good, which I thought was good from a guy that just came out of the show. Didn't think I was the elderly gentleman was needed to go back to the home.
That's
So
awesome.
Marty loved it, and Mallard was howling. So of course we wear it, and they get off to a really good start in Anaheim in them. So
It's
like
all going great. It's all
it's
going
just
great.
like
It's going
Halloween,
great
right?
until Marner.
It's going so good, and we're having a lot of fun with it the whole night. And people are texting
I
Mallard, and
was,
they're like texting Marty and texting me like, "What is up with that guy?" And Brian McCormick had a great line. He's with the Henderson Silver Knights. BMAC, great guy. He goes, "Why is Sharples wearing a license plate?" So, anyways,
but it was all going good until that lad. It was
it
like
was so good.
we started watching at the end of the third period. Things were all fun and games. Then you guys came back after the overtime depressed. And that button couldn't. Yours is like, oh, I wish this could get smaller. I wish this
I know.
could,
I was like, can someone airbrush me onto the screen right now?
yeah.
I was like, you'll never see me
Oh,
again now. It's like, oh, we were right on the verge of entertainment. Now we look like idiots. And so we tried to airbrush that out as best we could, but it was just one of those finishes to a game. Anaheim ended up winning 4-3 in overtime, and Gauthier with the winner. But it's just the way it ended. It was like, oh, man, you can't. There was no air left in the tires, and there I am with this pin about the size of a small
yeah,
car on my lapel,
yeah.
and now we got to try and dig our way out of a post game
It,
show. So, anyways,
it was
that was a
it
chirp.
was awesome.
Yep.
It was awesome and fun and the whole thing was must see TV because it was just the way it ended. Even though Vegas still picked up a point, it was crazy the way it ended and just everybody was. Schmid's playing. He's playing good. Did Schmid play that night? He
Yeah,
played that
he's
night, right?
playing
Yeah.
good. Yeah, he's playing good. You know,
Anaheim is good.
yeah, real good,
Oh
real
my
good.
God.
We talked
Yeah.
about Anaheim a couple weeks ago when they came here, and one of the cool things about
I think
Anaheim,
they've
and
gotten better.
oh, you know what? They like some people. We've talked about the house's money. Well, they might be playing with the house's money, but they are playing really, really good, and they've got a really nice mix there. And I'm looking forward to actually. I don't know where they are the next game or so, but I know they're in Chicago, I think on Sunday night. And of course, this is going to get out because we want everybody to enjoy this with their Thanksgiving turkey and their pumpkin pie. But they're in Chicago, and I'm like, Carlson and Bedard, like two young superstars in the league. And
Hmm.
I'm happy for those guys because we got friends there. And it's amazing because now you look, you've got, we might have talked about this the other night, but you've got Anaheim, you've got San Jose, Chicago's better, Ottawa's better. Like you have these Montreal got in last year, so you already know about them. But you've got this youth movement. And how about the Islanders? Like they got a kid that played 17 games in Matthew Schaefer last year. Like he is not. They had holes in defense.
He couldn't.
He's plugged about three different holes for him. It's
You,
crazy.
but you know what the thing is, the fun came back to the island at the perfect time. If what's his face had stayed there one more year, old cranky puss, I don't know if they would have even let him play in the league this year. You know, like he's such a cranky. This is the way it plays. This is the way it goes. This is the way it's done. Nobody gets a beard. You know what I'm talking about. Am I blanking on his name?
Are you trying to take me down because he used to be my general manager?
Is he really?
Who are you talking
Was he?
about? You're talking about Lou Lamoriello?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well they moved out and they brought where was it? Where'd the guy come from? Tampa, I think, the new GM in New York. And of course they
Where'd you
were
have
going to
Lou
take
Lamoriello?
Schaffer. What?
Where'd you have Lou Lamoriello?
In New Jersey's organization.
Oh, it just seems like it. Not fun at all.
Yeah, Lou was in the game for a long, long time, and so they brought in. You know what, Patrick Waugh has got a lot of energy with him. So, but he did bring Patrick Waugh in, and then the new general manager
But
they have.
I think that kid's made Patrick Waugh have some fun.
Yeah, you know
Schaefer.
what, and part of it, like Pat, he snapped the other night.
but in a good way.
Rantanen ran over ran over Romanoff, who unfortunately is going to be out an extended period of time. And it's just every time I see guys get near the
Couple of
boards, I'm like,
years.
oh. But he
Yeah.
snapped on that. He came back the next day, composed himself, said, "Hey, okay, you know what? I got over my skis." But you're right. He looks like he's smiling back there. He's having a good time, and he's found his happy place. And you know what? Give the guy credit for adapting to new school. And because Patrick Waugh played, I think he's around my age, but he played around the time I
35.
did. And of course, he's a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest ever. But he's been able to take his time away from the NHL, come back, and I don't want to say reinvented himself, but if you watch the Islanders play, they like he's got them going. So you can say whatever you want. You can just say good job.
They're not the same Islanders. They're a completely different team.
They're not
So
your mom and dad's New York Islanders. It might be your
no,
grandparents' New York Islanders because they were winning those cups in the '80s. But yeah,
but that
been
was a
good.
different team too. Like for a while there, they were must not see TV.
Yeah, Islanders. So there you go. There's another team. I'm sure we got someone else that we haven't talked about. Oh, when our friend Marco in Boston, Marco Sturm, Boston works their butt off, and they got these big, strong, heavy forwards that just have a little trouble. They're tough, and they're having a little trouble getting the puck in the net. But
Charlie, if Charlie Coyle can keep his face out of the way of the puck, it'll be great.
McAvoy.
Sorry, Charlie. Why did I call him Charlie? I called him that yesterday on something too. What a dummy! What a dummy! You know what I'm talking about.
You know,
That
Coyle
was
is, I think, playing in the Western Conference. I think Coyle's in Columbus this year.
yeah. Oh, it's in the
You're not
Western
even
Conference.
you're not
I
even
heard, I
acknowledging
heard, I
that.
heard.
I
I
think
just, I
he
just went
is.
like the,
Think he's
I
in
just went with that.
Columbus.
Look, you got look. Some of us have
Might
other
be
things to
wrong.
do other than to check numbers and names. Well, all I got to see was the Kennedy shot the other night. He was on the ice. Oh my God! He looked like he was on top of a Lincoln Continental going down Dallas Drive. Yeah. Uh, oof. Eh, that looked like somebody. What? How have you took one to the face like that? Right?
Oh, what, a slapper?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think most guys probably have taken one to the head. I was able to move. Guy iced the puck and caught me on the side and the ear, and I was like, "Oh, that feels really good." So I remember, actually, you know what?
That
Here's a
feels
funny
really
story,
good.
man. This is like therapy. I did take a slap shot to the face one time. Guy was trying to clear it in junior, and that's before we wore
Hold on,
visors.
hold on, hold on, hold on.
It's funny.
Here's what's funny about this is you had to remember being hit in the face with the puck. Yeah, I took one. Oh, I took another. Yeah, I remember that one. Sure,
That's right.
I get the names wrong, but you can't remember what happened in your life.
No, you know what? That's what makes us so good, right?
What
But
happened? What happened?
I'm just
Where'd you
gonna
take it?
move on from the good comment. But
No, I want to know about the slapper to the face.
okay, so what happened? It took me back. I took one in the international league in the side of the head, but
From who?
in junior, okay, we were playing New Westminster in Kelowna. I think it was my first year in the league, and they they were on the we were on the power play, and it was getting near the end of the power play because I can remember this because I was thinking, oh, the guy's going to be coming out of the box soon, and there was a bouncing puck, and their guy wheeled around and just hammered it. And it came and it hit me flat right in the left eye, but it hit me flat. So it was more of a knuckler.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, I go down and I'm like, boom, I go down. I'm like, I'm thinking, am I
Crowd.
bleeding?
Ooh.
Can I see still? Whatever. And all I can hear from the bench is the coach going, "You're okay. Get up. You're okay. Get up." He's yelling at me, Mark Besson. I'll never forget it. I'm like, I guess I'm okay. I better get up.
Before you even hit the ice,
Oh,
before
he
even
was
your body's
all
even hit
over
the
me.
ice, you're fine. Keep
Yeah.
moving.
Yeah. You're okay. Get up. And I was like, yeah,
Oh,
I guess I better get up. I'm okay.
that's
So I come back to
really
the
funny.
bench and the puck, like I got this welt underneath my eye, but must have been all the I don't even know. I might have had a small cut, but I didn't have anything
Per
crazy.
a
And it
perfect
was just one of
bruise,
those
a
fluke
perfect bruise,
plays.
like You said a
Yeah.
perfect bruise right there.
Yeah, I was pretty lucky, but I do remember it's,
Yeah, you were
I guess
lucky.
we can laugh about it now, but it probably,
The
looking
fact that
back
you have
at it.
both eyes, we can definitely laugh at it now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
back at
Yeah.
the time, I'm sure if any family was in the stands, they're like, so.
Yeah, my aunt and uncle would have been there for sure, but
But they didn't care. They didn't care. And
yeah,
uncles
they were
didn't care.
just they'd always drive over from
They're from
Penticton.
the.
They were just
They're there
happy to
for the
be there.
popcorn. Yeah,
Yep.
they're there for the. Actually, they're there for the 50-50 draw.
The 50-50 draws in Canada are insane. They're
Insane.
the best. I'm like, I'll go to a hockey game just for a
Yeah.
50-50 draw. Like, I've heard a lot about Rogers Place in Edmonton, and I know I'd like to get up there in the ice district, but really what I want to
Hmm.
go to a game for is to get a 50-50 ticket in Edmonton. Because I'm like, obviously McDavid and Draisaitl, I get to see him here a little
Yeah.
bit, but they'd be fun to watch at home. But 50-50, like when Calgary was there, I don't know. I'm sure as we get to the Christmas holidays, those 50-50 draws in Edmonton will be like 2-3 million again. It's like, it's insane.
It's silly. I'm
It's
gonna I'm gonna go to a game in I think January, February. I'm up there. I'm gonna go on the Thursday night and then work the weekend.
who are they playing? Do you know?
I have no idea. Trent told me we have tickets. I'm just like, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go for the goaltending.
No words.
No words.
No
I,
words.
you know what I like in a goaltender? I like somebody that doesn't move.
My favorite is my favorite is when they say just need our goaltender to mix in a few saves. I'm like, oh my god,
Oh my
just
God.
like there's just right now Flats is feeling in his back. He's like, I thought you were my friends, but yeah,
That's really funny. Speaking of goaltenders, somebody's on the list to go to Wedgie's on the list to go to the Olympics.
yeah. I mean,
So wow.
I
So
why not?
we get some people fired and we get some people promoted. That's
That's right. You take the chance when you come on this
yeah.
show. And talking about that,
Your career's going one way or another. It ain't staying the same. I'll tell you that.
that's right. But it's like life. It's
Yeah,
constant change. So just get used
flux,
to it, right?
flux. It's too much flux.
Lux. How about yeah, so yeah, you go one way or the other, and we're gonna threaten that we're getting guests on again soon. And I'm just gonna throw it out there.
We have
Andy
some. I have some
Collins,
lined up.
Coach Collins of the Tacoma Rainiers or whatever your juggernaut U10 team or U12 team is. Don't hold me to that because he's always like texting me like, when you guys are on next in the next 2 to 9 weeks, why don't you guys have a guest on? So
I
we're gonna
love
try
it
and
when
get one.
we have some guests. I have an agent that's going to come on that just got a.
Michael Chason.
That's funny.
Michael.
I don't tell you. I've been contacting behind your back. Uh, no, whoever I have his name. Sorry, we got a big time agent coming on, not Michael Chason.
Way to go. The one guy that we actually know that we could make a call to, we don't make a call to. And then the one guy you can't remember. Like, oh my, that's so good. I'm going to see Michael for Thanksgiving. So I'm going to ask
How's
him.
your day going? Just trying to remember my name. That's awesome.
Hopefully, the good thing he doesn't listen to our podcast or he'll never
I
come
know.
on. He's like, I wonder if those guys are talking about me. No
It's
name.
too. He's too busy looking good. He's got no time. He's got no time for this. He's too good. Too busy quaffing.
He's out in his garage. He's having too much fun.
Uh,
Maybe there's not as much fresh air in there as we thought. There might be a little
yeah.
bit of. Is there some fumes? Are you feeling okay?
I'll give you one of these. I've been looking over here and every so often because of course the time that I come out here is when they decided to do the spraying for bugs. So so if I go down in a heap, you know what
Yeah,
happened.
yeah, exactly.
Apparently it is more than just bugs that go down from it. So anyway.
Yeah. So, hey, well, get back to Wedgwood. You know what? He came on the show, and since he's been on the show, he's been like skyrocketing. He's been like an AI
You know what he
stock.
did?
He's been
You know what he
amazing.
did? You know what he did? He took his opportunity and he did the best he could do with it, and it's really served him well. Blackwood was hurt at the beginning, and he was playing all those games, and he stood out. He stood on his head. So
Do you know
you got to
one
do it.
thing I was really
That
what? Go
if
ahead.
it's I think it's with everything in life. If the door opens a little bit, you have to be prepared to push it all the way open.
Yeah,
Right?
and you know, one of the things that prosperity is sometimes tough to handle, and what you do when it arrives and how you continue to work. One of the things I was really impressed with Wedgwood when he came on was like how confident he was in who he was and what he could do. And I was surprised Nashville, I was surprised
He
they
must.
moved him to
I was
Colorado.
too. And I was like, oh, that's disappointing. And then yeah, 2 months later, you're like, holy crap. Good for him.
Well,
Not having to
but
stick around that.
you know, I was surprised Dallas let him go to
So was I.
Nashville to start with, because he could you imagine, like, him and Blackwood are amazing together in Colorado, but it, like, Ottinger, oh, maybe Blackwood or Wedgwood is going to be on Team Canada, so you never know, but Ottinger is definitely going to be on Team USA, so he's not going to get as many games he wouldn't get as many games in Dallas, but what a 1-2 punch. And
Yeah.
so now you look at that tandem in Colorado, Wedgwood and Blackwood. They're amazing. But I had a guy tell me, I forget, and it might have been the guy that keeps not coming on a show, Mallard, but because he loves to
Probably.
watch his goalies. But someone told me recently, they go, Casey DeSmith is one of the best guys in the league, and you call him he's an NHL goalie, but as a backup, he said one of the best guys in the league. And DeSmith, look at what he did in Vancouver. Now he's in Dallas, and you can't argue with that. He's been really good too. So everybody's happy except Nashville.
Everybody's having
Yeah,
there's change it
no,
to Mudville because it's not going well there.
yeah,
They got
it's tough to watch and really pull for that team because I love the
Vancouver
city.
South. That's what we call them.
Yeah, no state tax either, and they just can't seem to get it to go. So, do you want to talk about Vancouver, or would you prefer to keep it on the higher note today?
I don't know if I want to talk about Vancouver, and I seen the funniest thing the other the other day. They said Jim Rutherford is a terrorist. That's what they said about Jim Rutherford. He's a terrorist, right? And and the response was, terrorists have a training facility.
That's
That's so
awesome.
good.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and then they had pictures of monkey bars. It was like, you gotta. I don't know, man. I think you're scaring people away from there, and of course they're having a tough season. They got no, like, they're struggling with goaltending. We knew it was going to be a tough season anyways, and then now, now it's gotten even tougher.
Well, you needed
So
to in Vancouver. Demko, to me, is one of the top goalies in the league. I've always really liked him, and up until he got injured, he was able to keep the water out of the boat. And then you're like, okay, well, Quinn Hughes, right? Okay, and then if Pedersen can come back up front,
Pedersen's
because
had
they
a
got three
great
of them,
season.
huh?
Pedersen's having a good season.
Yeah.
Like
So,
that.
but there's been some other things that have happened on the way to Grandma's house that haven't worked out really. And you can't. I mean, I think Lankin has been really good for him. So
Blanken's
whatever,
been
whatever
good,
it
but at the same
is,
time,
what are you stretching now, or what are you doing
I'm,
there?
I'm taking you for a walk, going
Are
out the
you
front.
okay? You had enough of sucking in the bug spray.
Yeah, it just got even thicker. So I'm like, I'm gonna go to the front. Here we go.
I got dogs barking, and you're look at that.
Yeah,
That's great. I can't wait to. You're gonna have to tune into this one and have a look at that. It was almost like robotic. Yeah, you look like a robot. Look at
I
you
am a
go.
robot. I'm
How far are you
fantastic.
walking? Like, are you going down to the beach or something?
Yeah, I'm gonna go take you down. I'm gonna take you to Vancouver to just let them know what I'm doing.
You
Oh
gonna
God,
go to one of those Starbucks with everybody else that sits in there all day with a water and sits on their computer?
yeah, I'll have a good time. Go to one of them. Pick the chair. That's great. There we go.
What are
Let's
you
see if we
doing
can get
today?
me
I'm
in.
going to Starbucks having a water, and I'm going to be on the internet all day. Oh, look at you! Wow, look at you do. You got a good base still.
I got that.
Look at, yeah, and a mohawk. Got a lot going on.
Oh,
Where's
I just
Pearl?
got
Is
you.
she there?
Well, I just got yelled at. Stay out of the spray.
Who's is that Constable Cab, the sheriff, telling you
Con-
to get away?
Constable Cab just told me to stay out of the spray. So
Maybe
I'm coming
that's
in.
another way of her saying you guys need to wrap it up.
You guys have had enough fun for a couple of minutes. Now shut it.
How was Pittsburgh while you were walking?
Well, I should
Well,
be wearing my signed Sidney Crosby jersey. Is what I should be wearing. How fantastic is that! Of course, I looked up how much it's worth right afterwards. $1,400. Do you sell it or do you keep it?
it's
Nope,
an
you put it
investment in your future.
exactly. So I'm putting it. I'm putting it in a glass case. Just put it in there.
You
Might
should
as
put it
well.
up for auction and then donate the money to the
I'll go
human
to
fund, Money for People.
money for Ian. It's pretty funny. You could tell that they have him sign a lot, and that I was probably close to the end. He was looking a little. His signature was looking a little shaky.
You know, it's amazing that you watch how these guys play every night, but the demand on their time is incredible. Like everybody wants a piece of Sidney Crosby or uh, Anze Kopitar or Connor
Yeah, yeah,
McDavid, Kel McCarr, Mark Stone, Jack Eichel, Kucherov, you name them. Austin Matthews, and it's really tough because these superstars are expected to be at the highest level, but there's also expectation from them. Not maybe so much from the organization, but there is a demand for them off the ice for stuff like this. Like, hey, Sid, like Sid's not just going to get in his car like everybody else and drive home at the end of the day, like sign a couple sticks for his guys. He could be
right.
there an extra hour signing stuff or meeting with sponsors because they don't want to. I mean, they're happy to see a player there, but they want to see the star. And this guy's been able to do it for so long. So,
So good.
that's pretty
So good. Had a
impressive.
multi-point game the other night. It was
But he
is
must have known you were in town.
well, you must have known that I was in town and not able to go to the game. It was his 500 multi goal game.
Yeah.
Multi
500?
point game. 500
500. Yeah.
multi-point game,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is insane, right?
Yeah.
We talk about Ovechkin, but Sidney Crosby is no slouch. No slouch.
Well, you know what? It's amazing. Like if those two have been rivals their whole career, they've been in the same division. Like how lucky are you if you're a Pittsburgh or Washington fan, just be able to watch those guys go at it 4 times a year. And there's obviously been some huge games that they've been in against each other.
Pitts,
So,
Pittsburgh is a very interesting market because they really, if you're not playing well, they're out. It's the
mhm.
same as the same as the Steelers. They're out. Although they still go and just talk in the stands, but they're just not as impressed when the
Mhm.
Steelers. And the Steelers lost to Chicago, so that should be big news there in Steel Town. They'll be feeling that. They'll be all fired up with their Aaron Rodgers jerseys. Anyways, back to hockey.
With their Aaron Rodgers jerseys, should have got him to sign one for you too.
Yeah, get him beside a Sidney Crosby jersey.
Yeah. So, okay. So what's the road ahead look like? All the NHL is really busy
Well,
this
this is the
week.
week. This is the
I
week we pick whether who's going to make it to the playoffs, right?
Yeah, December 1st, like U.S. Thanksgiving, but let's just say Monday's December 1st. Kind of you're in or you're in the way, right? And
Mm-hmm.
Heidi Klum, one day you're in, the next you're out. Is that how she said
Oh
it?
my god! Oh my
Yeah,
goodness!
yeah, I guess so.
Jeff Sharp,
Hey, I never
Jeff Sharp,
what was that? What
Jeff
not to
Sharp was
wear? I didn't
quoting
even know what she was on.
Heidi
Oh,
Klum. Oh my god!
she was Project Runway. How about the hat pulling it out
Oh
of
my
the
god!
hat? Yeah.
That's a
So
that's a father of two girls right there.
yeah, right from watching the hockey game to Project Runway after it was over, I guess. Um, so yeah, so that's kind of where we are. We're heading to that. I don't know if
Yeah.
that'll hold true this year because it's so tight. I think you could definitely have some guys flip and flop, but there's some teams that are probably looking around going, "Whoa, hey, we're in pretty good shape. We're going to keep it going, right?" And
Right.
so,
Well, there'll be some teams that have some troubles after the Olympics because some guys will come back injured, right, and they're going to struggle.
well, if you have a player going to the Olympics, it's a you know double-edged sword, right? Because you're happy that they promote that. Like you can talk about your team, like, oh, this guy's going to this team, this guy's going to that team. That's pretty exciting. But then they go to another time zone and another continent for what, 3 weeks basically, and they come back
When does
and
it st- When does it start?
I think well, it's right around the start of February. I want to say the last game for most teams is around the 4th or 5th of February. I might be wrong on that. So they're going to be going over, and I'm guessing would probably be starting the Olympics tournament on the 6th or 7th of February. I think the 7th is Saturday. So I'm going to guess it's going to start right around then. I'm yeah.
You and you're guessing.
Yeah, I'm guessing. So I don't
love
do
it.
it much, but
This show
what I
isn't
do.
about facts. It's just about
No,
thoughts.
we've never been factual. That's kind of when you tune in, you kind of know that.
Seattle beat Pittsburgh, and so did Minnesota. Both very, I think, really strong teams for the future. Both of those teams.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about Seattle or Mini when we were talking about those up and coming teams earlier. So Seattle's rebounded, and Mini is on fire.
On fire.
And they got off to a rough start, and everyone's like, "Oh, what's going
And
to
they're
happen
going
with
with their
Mini?"
third string goalie, right?
But they have two of the best goalies in the league, in Wallstead and what's the other guy's name? He played in the playoffs for him last year. 32. Swede. Well, he's not Swede, but
Gustafson.
Thank you. So Wallstead.
Holy crap! I just got one right on this.
Yeah,
podcast.
that was awesome.
I still got it. I still got it. West Coast.
It was amazing. We were going to go until our batteries ran out in our phones trying to figure that out. But Gustafson is super. He's a really good goalie. But Wallstead, they came through here with Iowa last year, which I believe Iowa is their farm team. And I watched Wallstead, and he was very highly touted. And I was like, this guy is good. But he has gone to a whole nother level in the NHL. And some of these guys, the American League is a very, very good league, but it's a little bit more scrambly on a night-to-night basis than the NHL is. And so some goalies they don't do really as well with that. But when they go up to the NHL and there's a little bit more structure, and they kind of know where the shot's going to come from or what's going to happen, they just excel. And Wallstead's been, unbelievable. So good story. Minnie's a great story because they were in that salary cap, what they call hell for years because they bought out Parisi and Suter, so they couldn't really do much. Their hands were tied, and now they're starting to get out from underneath that. And they've done a good job of bringing guys up from and drafting and getting them ready to go.
Nice. Yep. And then there's Seattle. Who has a great young goalie too, and Decord. And if you can find I'll see if I can find it. I'll send it to you of him taking shots. He flips his glove around and takes a slap shot like one-timers. It's really impressive. And just the fact that he's using a goalie stick and then using the gloves as well. It's very impressive.
So. Yeah. Well, that's a team that I don't think a lot of people, they were kind of like the jury was out in Seattle. What are they going to look like? But Lane Lambert's gone in there, and their defensive structure has been really sound. And if you can
You're a big fan of Lane Lambert.
Lane was drafted the year before I was to Detroit. Really good guy. He was in the island for a while with our friend, a good friend of the shows, Doug Huda, who's in San Jose now. And so I knew Lane from years and years ago. And then when they came through, when he was with the Islanders, got to talk to him and just catch up with him again. So good guy. He's done a good job. And tip of the hat.
Tip of the hat to Lane Lambert, taking Seattle all the way.
Wouldn't that be something? That'd be crazy. And here's the thing about Seattle: once they get going, they can have some crazy fans. You see it with the Seahawks, the Mariners, and inside Climate Pledge. They get rolling. That place can get rock and roll. And the Seattle fans are, pretty.
They can get they've had a little bit of struggle on their other side business wise, like with their season tickets and stuff, and keeping their fans happy. But their product that they put on the ice has been pretty good. They've just had to compete with Vegas coming in and just being this powerhouse that they were immediately because of the way they were able to do it. So people in Seattle kind of expected the same thing. But they are so far ahead of any other expansion team, so far ahead. Speaking of expansion teams, what do you think? What do you think of the Mammoth? What's your feelings there?
I like
I know they're not an expansion team. I know they're not. I know they're not.
But they kind of are. They kind of are.
Kind of is.
I love their owner and what he's doing. I think it's Ryan Smith.
Hmm.
Ryan Smith really, he just comes right out and says it. We want this to be a place everyone wants to play. We want it to be the best. And he backs it up. Like he's spending hundreds of millions of dollars to make that go. Um, one thing they all say as a home ice advantage, the air in Denver, the air, 5280, 50, where the air is rare. I mean, you can't even get on the tram at the airport without hearing, oh, hey, welcome to Mile High. They're just,
Yeah.
hey, would you like the Mile High burger or the Mile High salad? I mean, it's like nonstop. Oh, what's your beer? Oh, it's a Mile High Pilsner. Like it's in your face the whole time, and it is a home ice advantage. Well, the second highest elevation city in the NHL for home ice advantage is Salt Lake City, and I believe it's probably around 400 feet above sea level. And so as they get going there and they start to feel it, I think they can really kind of press some teams
Well,
that
you
come
played
in.
there. You
I
played.
love
You
it.
played
You
there.
feel it, man, especially in the spring. You start to feel it when it starts to warm up because the air gets a little bit thinner and you start to feel it. So, I'll say this, like everyone, Leo Carlson in Anaheim is like the talk of the league. This guy's been amazing. But Cooley in Utah is
Fast. So
version,
fast.
their version of Leo Carlson. And I don't know if anybody in the league could catch or could beat Cooley in a race. They could probably stay even with them. But I would put Cooley right up there. And there might be some guys out there going, well, you don't know what you're talking about. You might be right. But this kid and Gunther shoots the puck a million miles an hour. So those two play really well
Oh, you
together.
worked the game. You worked the other game when they played them the other
I
day.
watched them twice this last week, and they got a little out of sorts.
Even Carrie Ann said when he got that breakaway, Carrie Ann goes, "Is that guy really fast, or does it just look like he's really fast?" No, he's really fast. That's what I would have
I'll
caught him
try and
on the
I'll see
second
if I
lap.
can dig in and see how fast he was going on that breakaway because sometimes you can look in and see if I'll report back. But the NHL might have a stat on how fast he skated that night. But yeah, I like Utah, and again, we talked
They probably
about
have a
this.
practice facility.
Oh, they're going to have everything. Yeah, they're going to have everything there. Here,
Yeah.
but here, think about this. Colorado, untouchable right now. Dallas has been great. Okay,
Hmm.
here comes Minnesota, right?
Hmm.
Winnipeg's going to be there in the end.
Hmm.
Okay, so that's four teams. There's only three spots in your division. Okay, so what's Utah looking at? Utah's like,
Yeah.
we gotta stay in this conversation. Yeah, we'd love to get a piece of our division, but we have to find our way into the wild card. So there's five teams in the Central right there that are really, really good teams. And so, and Utah is not at where those other four are, because I just think, those other teams are just a little bit in front of them, but they've got all these young guys and they're coming strong. So, it's going to be interesting to
I
see.
I think Utah's a place where guys are going to want to go play, and I think the other towns have to be concerned about where people want to go. Um, Phoenix, people wanted to go play there, but they just kind of got lost. It just that team just got lost in the shuffle. But they're really trying. They're trying in Salt Lake City. So here we
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
It's fun. It's
yep.
fun.
Any
I
shout outs?
I'm curious. I'm
Are
curious.
you
Yeah,
done?
Anisha, I'm curious. Well, I want to know how much is it affecting? Did they still any of Vegas's fan base? Has there been any sort of numbers come out of that?
No, I don't know, but the owner did come on. Ryan Smith did come on. Forget who they were playing, and he came on and said, "Hey, listen, we understand that people up here have been cheering for the Rockies. They've been cheering for the baseball team over there in Colorado." I think
We
I think I
realize that they're
just I
cheering for
think
the
I just
wrong
blacked
sport.
out there. I was like, is it Thanksgiving? Boom, down I went.
Give me some fan.
I know. I was like, oh my God. It's a long weekend. Sorry, I'm off, so I'm happy about it. But um, the Avalanche and the Golden Knights have inroads in the Rockies and in Salt Lake. So the goal is to get as many people in Mammoth jerseys and swag and
Hmm.
get behind the team as they can. And you're right. I was in Salt Lake, and it's one of the nicest cities I've ever played in and spent any time in. So the players are going to love it because the weather in Salt Lake is really good too.
Right.
Really good. And you're up you're up in the Front Range, the Wasatch there. So
Sounds fantastic. Sounds
it
good.
does.
You got any shout outs?
Yeah, I got some shout outs.
Do you want to
I'm
go
gonna
second?
yeah, it's gonna take me a few minutes to shout some people out, but
Okay, I'm
no,
going to
I'm
shout
gonna
out.
shout out. Go for it. You shout it out
You want me to
first.
shout out?
Yeah.
I want to shout out America for their Thanksgiving. Oh, sure, it may be the last one they ever have, but I love Thanksgiving. It's fantastic. If this country ever separates, everybody will have 4 or 5 different Thanksgivings. It'll be fantastic. No, I enjoy Thanksgiving, and yeah, it's going to be. We have friends coming over. Candace is coming over tomorrow, and some other friends, and Randy Ann and Adrian. We'll see them, so it'll be good. So shout out to everybody that makes my life fun, other than my wife who makes me do things.
Tough to follow that. Tough to
Good luck.
follow. I
Good
know.
luck,
Why didn't
Michael.
you let me go? Because it's like now it's like a ham sandwich.
Well,
Yeah,
you
but
made it look like you're going to make everybody cry.
no, maybe we'll throw some Dijon on it or something.
Put some Dijon on this.
Dijon.
Some horseradish. Put some
Yeah.
horseradish on it.
You know what I was thinking about today? I was thinking about Canadian Thanksgiving before we came on, like the biggest day of the year, and you know, I love it. I do love Canadian Thanksgiving, but I had a guy was listening to XM radio the other day, and he was saying, you know, he loves the way the Americans do Thanksgiving, but he doesn't like where it's placed. He likes where the Canadian Thanksgiving is placed. So I'm like, you would have nothing if it was in October. You would get nothing done until about the third week of January in this
Yeah,
country
yeah.
because it's like you just want
Let's
people like
let's
they
be
would be.
honest. Yeah,
It's
everything shut down on the 29th of October, and it'll reopen January 4th. Let's be honest.
I'm telling you what, if you went into, I think it's
Yeah.
Columbus Day down here, it's Thanksgiving in Canada. And I'm like, if you wound that up in the middle of
Oh my God.
October, good luck to you, because everyone's piecing out for 2 months. There's not a chance. Like
Hmm.
everyone's so fired up, and that's why the games in the States tonight, a lot of the Canadian teams go on the roads. And I was like, I would imagine in some of the buildings tonight, it's going to be pandemonium because everyone's like, it's the holidays. Let's go. Come on.
It's the holidays. I brought my turkey mug. Let's do this.
So, of course, in the NHL, it's like absolutely every American team is going to play 3 games, or every team in the league is going to play 3 games in 4 days over this weekend
That's
because
funny.
it's the holidays. So, no, I'm going to talk about the holidays. I'm going to give a shout out to my daughter Meg and her husband Tyler because they went up and
Ooh,
put Christmas lights on my mom's house. So, I'll shout out my
sweet,
mom
sweet
too
people.
because she's and Robin were the kind of the glue for Mills Memorial Hospital back in the day. So without Robin and Irene, we wouldn't be here. But my
Right.
daughter and her husband went up and put the Christmas lights up on my mom's house, and it looks spectacular. And we're all fired up for
That's
Christmas.
awesome.
Yeah.
I
So
love it.
hey, I kind of came back there. You had a really good
Yeah.
one, but I kind of came back, right? So,
Well, I thanked everybody.
but I
I
thought I
gave
brought
everybody.
Canada into it too because I think that's
Yeah.
important. Because
You
Thanksgiving's
went
a
back
good
to the
day up here.
roots.
What's that?
You went back to the
I went
roots.
back, yeah. But everyone's not hammered from the middle of October to the
Oh my
start
God.
of January like they are
Oh
here.
my.
Like Thanksgiving, forget about it. You know,
It's DUI season.
hey, Uber and Lyft and your local taxi service.
Take it.
And
Yeah.
a car service too. Don't be afraid to pick up
Or
the
just walk.
phone and just take care of your friends and family over the holidays.
Yes, if you can buy anybody anything this weekend, it's an Uber card or a Lyft card. Just get
Mm-hmm.
them, get there safe. Everybody have a good time. Get all liquored up, but get there safe.
Well, we got some people coming on next couple of weeks. We're not going to tell you when, but it's going to be a big holiday season. We got the holiday celebration begins today.
If you listen to this if you're listening now, make sure that you listen to the rest of the year because it's about to get spicy on this podcast.
All right.
Love y'all.
Love tall.